Hello, you've reached Dave with BizzyWeb, and we're talking about staying ahead of your sales cycle today on our Bizzy Webinar. We're going to share with you how to combat outside forces to keep driving sales. I am, of course, Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. Here's how to reach me and how to ask questions during the event. If you do have questions that you don't want to share live, you can send me an email at dave@bizzyweb.com, or you can reach us at our main line at 612-4BizzyO. That's 612-424-9990. So if you'd like to see the PowerPoint or the notes from today, just email me and I'll send you a PDF copy. All right, want to go through a couple of technical things so that everybody's set. If you do have any questions during the event, the way to ask those questions live is by simply going under number 1 on the event page to click on the Google Plus link. If you click on that Google Plus link, if you're not already logged into Google Plus, you may be asked to give your name, but usually you don't need to log in fully to get that set up. So click yes, you're going to watch, and then of course go on to the next part and click play on this video. From this played video, you'll be able to watch the event live in full screen. And I'm going to pause so that you don't need to listen to me twice with an echo. But in the lower right-hand corner, you'll note that there is a Ask a New Question button. So if you see the Ask a New Question button in the lower right-hand corner, you can click on that button. And it's a little bit fuzzy on here, of course. But when you click on that button, it's going to just take you in to the event, and then you can ask a question here. So if you ask that question, you'll see that. I'm going to click back over to the presentation so you don't see the spiraling weirdness of doom, but that's how you can ask a question. So you simply log in to the Bizzy Webinar under number 1, you click on the Google Plus link, and then you'll be taken to a page where you'll be able to ask questions live. I'm going to switch back and forth a few times during the presentation. Again, if you're shy or if you don't get a chance to ask that question that you need to know about digital marketing of any sort, but certainly around generating new sales for your sales funnel, send us a note at dave@bizzyweb.com. Okay, as we get in here, of course, you know who BizzyWeb is. We're a digital marketing agency based in Champlin, Minnesota, which is just a little bit north of Minneapolis. And here's some photos of the hive, but we'd love to have you stop by sometime. We're right off 169 in Champlin, and would love to see you. We are a digital marketing agency, of course. Here's some examples of our websites. We also do Buzz Builders digital marketing services. Those digital marketing services can help you grow your business and get better results via email marketing, social media marketing, content writing, Google AdWords, search engine optimization, and a lot of other things as well. So what we do is we customize our program specifically for every client, and then ideally and usually we build them a solid foundation with their website and let the digital marketing that we do for those clients continue to drive them results. So if you or if a friend of yours has a need for digital marketing services, specifically if you're thinking about hiring someone externally or internally to help you with your digital marketing, give BizzyWeb a call, because we can offer a very cost competitive and incredibly results oriented solution for you. So why are we here and what are we doing? Of course, at its core, marketing is all about getting results. Today, we're talking about the kind of results that we're all looking for, and that's clicks and downloads, visit to a store, reservations and appointments, which all leads to revenue. Sales is the name of the game, and sales today for us is our topic. So today what we're going to talk through is how to manage your sales cycle, how to set it up, and how to understand the cyclical nature of sales for you and your business. And then we'll talk about how to measure and set up a great plan for you and your business, and then how to respond to specific events and issues inside of your sales plan. So if you happen to notice that a specific perfect client shows up or has a change event in their life cycle, if, for example, they take a new job, or if a perfect client for you hires someone new, they launch a new product, or if they announce that they've received funding or financing or whatever, those are all triggers that you should respond to in order to help guide and continue to boost your sales results. We'll finally follow that up with next steps and tell you how to keep that sales cycle going. And hopefully this will be easy and helpful for you. Again, if you would like this presentation or to ask a question during the event, simply send us a note either at dave@bizzyweb.com or follow that link on the event page to go into Google+. So let's talk about managing the sales cycle. Sales tend to be cyclical. Doesn't matter what kind of business you are or who you serve. Every business seems to have their own rhythm. At some points, you'll be able to, or you'll be closing things left and right. You won't be able to pick up the phone without landing a new deal. And at other times, you're going to probably find that you just can't do anything right and you can't find that next sale. And it seems like there's no end in sight for this dry spell. The key is to plan ahead. And in order to do that, you need to measure your results and look for patterns. This isn't something that necessarily is going to apply to a brand spanking new business or someone that's been doing something for, a few months. But if you've been in business about 5 years or so, or even a couple of years, you should be able to start seeing some seasonality or some general trends in what your business does. So for example, at BizzyWeb, I think we follow what's typical for a Minnesota-based company. Things tend to be very busy in the spring and the fall. And then the winter tends to taper off a little bit and the summer gets really slow. Everyone's off at the cabin or doing something and enjoying Minnesota's beautiful summer weather. And so things do tend to taper off during that core summer months. So what we do is we adjust our marketing cycle and we focus on what folks are doing for the folks that are around. So if your sales tend to pick up in the fall or maybe slow down in the summer, if they react to specific outside changes. So, and specifically here, I'm talking about lever events like funding or product launches, new hires. If there's a new change in the C-suite, usually that new person, that CXO, whatever, tends to bring on their own ideas and they're not nearly as loyal to what the company had been doing as previously. So this is an opportunity point, but also a danger point for you and your business if you are the existing client or the existing supplier for a company. And so we at BizzyWeb always and consistently look for the changes in executives for our target size and target frame companies. So think about who your best buyers are and what really affects their buying decisions. If there's some lever or some seasonality in what you do, BizzyWeb has a number of different kinds of clients, but in general, and for one of our types of clients, the construction and contracting business, those deals or ideas tend to be very cyclical and business ramps up incredibly fast in the early spring, which is when it makes the most sense to reach out and to be proactive. For other companies and folks that tend to be more commercial, even in the contractor construction range, some of those decisions get made before the end of the year to lead into spring because there's a lot of back-end work that needs to happen. So for example, large corporate HVAC or industrial clients of ours tend to focus on Q4 as one of their main marketing levers to get new large contracts. And it can be a business changer for any one contract with some of those clients. So it makes a lot of sense to do as much as necessary to get in that $8 or $10 million deal. And so as you look at that, make sure that you're connecting and that you're thinking about not only what you know about the place that you work or the organizations and regions that you serve. This gets more complicated if you serve a national or international audience, as BizzyWeb does. But the more you know about the people you're trying to serve, the more you're going to be able to tease out what they do. So again, for example, if you're trying to reach parents of school-age kids, there's a very seasonal lever for those folks around spring break, where they are just going to stop responding because generally during the months of March and April, those folks tend to be away on vacation with their kids. Same thing for summer, same thing for winter break. You'll know that there's some seasonality there as far as the interest and the availability of your prospects and clients. So planning around that, looking for those connections, looking for those lever events keeps you in front of and informed by your connections. So, but then there's also some data that you can get right inside of your sales or CRM, customer relationship management data. You'll probably know how many leads it takes to get a sale and how your output is affected by the type of lead that you receive. When you look through your historical data, you'll probably start to notice that for the days or times, specifically, for example, for BizzyWeb, the days that we have a lot of interviews with potential clients that lead to conversations with those clients. If we have, for example, 5 proposal presentations in a week, we can guarantee that about 3 weeks later, those proposal conversations will turn into contracts. So if we have a very high week in proposals or proposal meetings, we'll be able to bet almost certainly that 3 weeks from that date, we'll have an influx of new business. And so conversely, if there's a slow week, and for example, around spring break, sometimes folks tend to take breaks or get away from the office inside of your sales team. If you notice that there's a low throughput of proposal or sales meetings, then you can probably guarantee, especially inside of your specific seasonality or lag, but for BizzyWeb around 3 weeks later, that we'll be able to almost guarantee that things are going to be slowed down during that following week. So you can look at that, you can plan around it, and you can even front load or back load data and leads to help level out that seasonality or that natural flaw or that natural drag in the content. So if you know that you're going to have your entire team off, for example, for the week between or for the holiday season, then you can plan around that and either do other types of sales engagement that might not be reliant on your specific sales staff or the people that you're trying to connect with, or you can just plan around it and do something else. Try new marketing during that time that you know it's going to be a tough week. And that way you'll be setting yourself up at that sales cycle to be ready for additional business and to keep taking on business, even though it might have theoretically and typically been a slow period. A lot of companies are sitting out and they're looking through their cycles, their sales cycle, and they're surprised when there's no new deals coming in. If you're watching the data, if you're watching the content that comes in through your sales efforts, you should be able to tell with relative certainty what's going to happen in the near future for your business. As you look at this, you have to think about the role that marketing takes. Engagement is really the new word of mouth. So everything that you do to drive leads, to drive sales, to drive new connections tends to revolve around social networks. Can be Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, email marketing, what have you. But as you look at that, there's definitely new ways to continue to be proactive and reach out to your clients. Of course, everything that you do as a business is designed to provide a wow experience. That in turn leads and encourages your clients, your connections, your marketing funnel to stay in touch with you. And simultaneously, you engage those people to drive business back to you, but also to drive social visibility. So this engagement and driving of social visibility tends to drive new prospects into your door. So think about the seasonality and the connections behind this. Marketing is measurement. And if you don't know who's coming in, what you're doing, or when you're doing things, and how that leads up to additional connections and contacts, that's going to lead to a dip in your in your sales results. So if we're talking about sales, of course, that's already having the connections and the sales meetings and the proposals and the connections that will drive toward that sale. And of course, depending on if you are a retail-based organization or a service organization such as BizzyWeb, you're going to have slightly different feeds and connections, and sometimes, especially for retail, that tends to be quite a bit shorter. But if BizzyWeb doesn't front load our marketing with all of this connection, and if we don't take advantage of that experience and entice our customers to stay in touch and continue to engage them, we're going to see a drop off in referrals and new prospects. That drop in referrals and new prospects will 3 weeks later turn into a slowing of actual sales results. So we know that we need to keep that funnel full by continuing to lever and use as much marketing activity and engagement as possible. So we've talked about managing the sales cycle. Let's talk through measuring and setting your plan. So inside of the measuring and setting of your plan, there's two different types of reports, or there's two different types of measurement. There's reports and analytics. Reports show you what's happening now, and analytics help you make decisions for tomorrow. This is the kind of content that you need. You need both sides, of course, in order to see what's happening, but you need to be able to make solid decisions about what you need to do to continue to keep your sales cycle leveled out and continuing to produce. There's types of campaigns and reports, especially inside of digital marketing and email marketing. This is what Constant Contact looks like in the back end of our reports. As you browse through, you can see the different kinds of campaigns. So there's either emails, campaigns, events, surveys, offers and promotions, or donations. And all of that will lead separately and differently into how your business results build out. So let's start with email. Email reports will show you the open rate of your emails, the number of clicks, bounces, spam reports, and opt-outs. Of those, here's what you should be paying attention to. First, there's the open rate. The open rate tells you how many people opened your email, the percentage of people who opened it compared to a total number of people that you sent to. The reporting features will show you information on an individual level, who specifically opened your email, when they opened it, and what day and time. Specifically, if you're looking at a connection with a specific type of outreach campaign. So if, for example, you're reaching your C-suite executives or your VIPs, the people that are decision makers or that tend to be in the advisory position in your business or in your referral stream, you might want to send out specific notes and then take note of those who actually click on that event or on that link, because that might be that indication or that lever that indicates that that person is interested right now, and you need to reach out to them at that exact moment. Whether it's click-through rates, opens, bounces. With events, there's registration statuses, attendance, payment status. With surveys, of course, when you're reaching out, there's response rates, open rates, and click-throughs. Offers and promotions, offer numbers of claimed and sold, revenue, new customers, audience reach, and shares. This is specifically on the offers and promotions. These are people that are ready to buy. You need to reach out and be very proactive with them. And you can work this such that if they do respond, or if they click on an offer or a promotion, if they download a white paper, or if they register for an event, you can set an auto response campaign to reach out to the people that have responded and send them more information, give them more detail, or further engage them so that they're further up and warmed up even more when your sales representative connects with them. If you're a nonprofit, you're looking at funds raised, number of donors, donation amounts. And for social media, for everyone, you're looking at engagement, click-through rates, reach, and the amount of fans and followers that you've connected with. Now, in specific, what you're looking for in social media is the opportunity to reach and create more social visibility. When someone likes, connects, or interacts with one of your social media posts, folks that person is connected with are much more likely to see your content, your data, your information, and then you'll be able to see if you have a large influx of sharing. If you have a very popular post in social media, you can almost bet that the people that click on that link or that are exposed to that content will, within a certain period of time, engage with you and connect. So if you have a very popular event, a very popular post, get ready and be ready to engage and to take advantage of the types of connections that you're about to receive. Make sure that you're set up, that you're giving them the detail and information, that your sales team is ready to set those appointments, or whatever you need to do to keep and take advantage of the seasonality inside of that response. How this looks on a daily basis is, for example, with Half Moon Yoga Studio, they've set a goal and they want to reach a certain amount of people. They launched a new website. They want to make sure that their customers are aware of the website and they want to drive traffic to it. The first thing Half Moon Yoga needs to do is set their goal, in this case, to just drive more people to their new website. Since they're sending an email campaign, Half Moon Yoga is going to look at their open rate and click-through rate to determine if the campaign was successful. Again, this is measurement to help guide future decisions. The average open rate for Half Moon is 16%, and their average click is 7%, so they want to meet and exceed their average for that campaign. They should create a campaign that's going to help them reach that goal. In order to do that, they're going to create an email announcement as a way to simply inform their customers about the website. They're using some tips we talked about earlier in the what ifs, and they're creating an email that's not too long. It has information that's short, the image is up at the top, it gets right to the point and it announces the new website. Again, I would push, and the example that I would look for our marketing results is they want to get something specifically actionable inside of this. And then they're going to send that email to their customer list, and then they're going to review the reports. A few days after the email is sent, they check their reports and their open rate was 12%. So they fell short of their normal open rate metric, but the click rate was higher at 10%. So that probably means with a low open rate but a high click rate that they've got a less compelling message, but for the folks that were interested in it, they're much more likely to take action. So for a high click-through rate on a low open rate, you've probably hit a target market that makes sense. And so you may want to take that 12% of opens and turn that into a specific group of folks that are likely to want to take a next action, or that are at least very interested, in this case, in the website. And then they're going to use that data to get what they need to do. So they have a higher open rate with a better subject line to grab readers' attention. The open rate report revealed that they should send their next email during the morning because that's when most of those opens took place. Their click rates will go up if their future emails have shorter content and offer tips or advice to benefit their audience. When their audience sees something that will benefit them, they'll click the links to get more information. So if the subject line before was check out our new website, after it's probably registering for your favorite class just got easier. So what does that look like in real life for their campaign? You can do exactly what they did, and we've made it easy. This is a worksheet that you can use for future campaigns. Here's Half Moon's information, so you can see an example how to use this sheet, and you can create your own or send an email out to us for this template. The next time you create a campaign, write down your goal, then think about which campaign you'll use to achieve that goal. Are you going to use social media, email outreach, calling with your sales staff, and think about the metrics for that campaign rate, what you're going to do in order to make sure that you're getting the results that you looked for. Create and send or share your campaign, then write down your results, take a look at the campaign, and think about what worked and what didn't. Write down what you've learned and apply it to the next one. When measuring, you're going to do some easy and simple things. First, set benchmarks for yourself. Know what you've done in the past, or know what the audience generally recommends. I have some benchmark information for open rates. And if you're interested, just go to constantcontact.com/blog/library. And they have all kinds of benchmarks for different industries. But set those benchmarks, set a frequency to review those reports and make changes to your marketing. I would recommend at least monthly. And if you're doing something weekly, you want to take a look at this month or weekly as well. But don't change everything at once. Make small, moderate improvements, moderate changes. Look at your open rates and figure out if there's additional things, small things that you can do to increase open rates. It might be the time of day that you send. It might be the content. It might be making the subject line more actionable. Also, if you look at one type of item at a time, that keeps your results valid. if I change my subject line, and if I change the topic, and if I change the people that I'm sending that message to, I don't know which of those changes is going to be is the one that actually affected the click-through rate. And so if I don't know that, if I haven't made small incremental improvements, I'm not going to be able to know what's working and what's not. In inspiration, there's a lot of ways that you can get helpful and interesting content and information. If you have an RSS reader, there's a lot of things that you can do, and I'll share that in a minute. But you can check the news, look for magazine headlines, look at what your competitors are doing, search results, and see what's happening. If you search for what you know your clients are connecting with or are likely to search to find you, that can be very helpful. You can look at blog titles, what people are tweeting about, listicles that make you curiously click their headlines. If you know of BuzzFeed, Upworthy, or Mashable, all three of those places are very helpful and interesting. And I specifically link to and use content for reference from a tool called Alltop. That's ALLTOP. And what Alltop does is it's all the top blogs on pretty much anything under the sun. So if you are an electrician or a clothing retailer or a fashionista or a tech geek, that type of content, there are Alltop lists of all of the top blogs inside of that specific realm of engagement. And so you can subscribe via RSS to those blog posts, and then you can use a tool like Feedly or Instapaper or a number of other places to subscribe to that content. Personally, I subscribe to about 230 blogs and review for about 25 to 30 minutes a night all of the headlines inside of those events or inside of those blogs. I'll wind up actually clicking on maybe 10 or 15 of those articles, and then I identify one or two things that I want either my team to look at or that I want to blog or post about in the near future. And I tag those into Instapaper, and my team either has a feed of that Instapaper feed, or I send them emails or even social media posts on how to connect with that. So there's all kinds of ways to stay current and stay connected and dial into the seasonality of your specific market. So responding to events and issues is next for us. And the key in responding to specific events is to have an idea of what those lever points are for your clients. If they receive new funding, they probably have money that they need to spend. If they have executive changes, they have a new strategy, and those new execs probably don't have loyalty to the status quo. So that's a positive for you if you're not the current vendor, and it's something to watch out for and that you need to be proactive about if you are the current vendor. New products or services, if a company engages or tries something new or different, they need to market that, they need to do something with it, and that might be a great opportunity for you to specifically reach out and engage with those people. It gives you an in. When you do receive a connection or an opportunity, you're going to reach out to those folks and you're going to find them via LinkedIn and congratulate them or send them a message. Keep your notes and updates in line with the seasonality of your clients. Send targeted emails to your lists, VIPs, purchasers, new clients, or specific industries, and then just keep informed and up to date with who you're trying to reach, when you're trying to reach them. Keep in mind that lag time in your sales cycle, if you're measuring that with your CRM, if you know that you haven't set enough appointments in a given week, that will give you that key that says, A, I know that I'm going to experience a lag in sales further down the road, or I need to be proactive or do something different in order to take advantage of the upswell or change in my activity. So as we look at this finally then, the next steps are as follows. Make sure that you watch your sales and CRM flow. Look for those lever points. Segment your lists so that you're connecting and reaching out to the correct people, and then be proactive as things change. You'll know when things are changing inside of your market, when people are updating their details, when your seasonality for your business tends to occur. And then always measure what you're doing and make sure to respond. Measure, change, rinse, repeat, keep going. As you grow, as you continue to build your list, your message, it's easy to make changes and continue to improve, but only to the degree to which you're being thoughtful and mindful about what you're doing. Measurement is marketing. Measurement is sales. If you don't measure, and if you're not sure what you're doing, and if you're not keeping your eye on the horizon, that's going to set you up for a lot more challenge in the near future. So if you all do have questions or deals, I've got some things that I'd like to share with you here now. We do have a special offer to get a free buzz report. And so I'm going to switch over and show you what a buzz report looks like. If you sign up online at BizzyWeb.com/buzz, you simply fill out this "I'd like a buzz report" form, and that gets you a 20-page report inside of here. So as you're looking at this, you can, again, submit a question by clicking the green Ask a Question button. You can send me a note at dave@BizzyWeb.com. But if you'd like to fill out a buzz report, again, I'm going to open this up. And if you go to BizzyWeb.com/buzz, this is what that looks like. And if you look at this BizzyWeb.com/buzz, this gives you an overview. And when you fill that out, you get a report that looks like this. So you can review and look at what your review is how well optimized your articles, your website is for specific keywords. If you have types of content or details that tend to be more or less helpful or useful to your business. If you're mobile responsive, if you have the right keywords, if you're engaging socially with your people, it tells you everything you'll need, along with a handy 2 or 3 page list of things that you should consider doing in order to increase and improve your results. If, of course, you would like to do that professionally, we'd love to chat with you at BizzyWeb. But at least you've got the content right there. I'd encourage you all to go to BizzyWeb.com/buzz and fill out that buzz report. Finally, if you do have additional questions or content, it's very easy to join our email marketing list and keep up with helpful, interesting events. If you text BIZZY to 22828, you'll be added to our general email marketing list. And what that will give you is a monthly update on the events that we have planned. So a preview of the Bizzy Webinars. You'll get a handy link to subscribe to those posts, and we'll send you a note if you subscribe or register for that event so that you get the details and you get the content right after that event. It's quick, easy, and simple. Finally, again, here's how to get a hold of me if you do have specific questions or would like the slide deck. If you send an email to dave@BizzyWeb.com or give us a call at 612-4BizzyO, you'll get your free trial of Constant Contact, or of course, remember that free buzz report at BizzyWeb.com/buzz. One last thing today, I just want to preview and demo our events coming up. So we've got a lot of new events that we're adding to our calendar right now. But in general, if you're interested in April in videos in YouTube, that's what we're talking about next week. And so would love to have you there. We're going to share with you how to use YouTube and online video to grow your business. Would love to talk with you and see you then. If you do have additional questions, send them to me at dave@BizzyWeb.com. But until then, thanks and have a fantastic week. And remember, at BizzyWeb, we help you generate buzz without getting stung.